So is playing your favourite games using proxy models killing the hobby? I don't think it is. I think it's driving it, if anything. And what makes me think this way is if you get into a new game system, they have a lot of models for that game system. So you start getting into it and you start seeing the same models over and over again. Yes, they might be painted differently. Yes, they might be kit bashed a little bit. But when you start trying to look into think, oh, that'll be cool, I might want to do this, you've already seen everything and the models start to become a bit boring quite quickly. And especially if you've got the mountain of painting a load of models for your army. This is why I like 3D printing, and this is why I absolutely love proxying. I'm not confined to a set of models that I have to build and paint. I can pick, I can select, I can 3D print in whatever size that I want. So you can get a basic troop and blow it up to be a giant if you wish. And the best thing about using companies like One Page Rules is the fact that it's all pre-supported and it does take a lot of the work out of 3D printing for you. And this is why 3D printing and proxies is the next best thing for me. And if you're on the fence about 3D printing, One Page Rules is probably a reason to get into 3D printing. I've printed an entire Wargaming army using One Page Rules as models. Now, whether you're going to be printing your core troops, whether you're going to be printing your centerpiece models like this one, I'm going to be using this model as a reanimated statue for my Kings of War army. Now I could use a Necrosphinx from Games Workshop, but one, can't get hold of them anymore, and two, they're really expensive. There is other companies' stuff out there, but they're usually multi-part kits or the resin kits that have got bits of warping. You've got work to do to make them go together, and I hate building models. And 3D printing for me, especially models like this with supports that just fall off with a bit of hot water and glue together with no stress of warping, no cleanup, no cutting ends off. It's just stick it on and it's done. It makes me lean toward proxies more. And I don't think this is a bad thing, because I wouldn't be buying them models anyway, because it instantly kill my creativity or wanting to paint something because of the process of cleaning the model and trying to build it together before painting. Whereas this, it's just 4 parts and I'm ready to get some primer on it and get painting. Now, say for example you've got most of an army already with models from your favourite game, and you want something a bit different for a centerpiece model, because it's your centerpiece models that you really enjoy painting. That's why I'm getting some paints out and sitting down ready to do a decent session of painting. You can just literally print your centerpiece models to make your army look so different, and that's what I like about using 3D printed models. There's a wide variety of stuff out there, but it's also cheap. I mean, One Page Rules is less than £10 a month, and they offer loads of models each month, so you can create armies whether you're into fantasy or sci-fi. 3D printers now are cheaper than PlayStations, Xboxes. You can pick up a 2K mono screen printer for £150, which people would normally spend that on just one model. Whereas if you've got a 3D printer and you want to build the core of your army, it's going to save you quite a lot of money in the long run. Or if you want the 3D printer just for building your epic centerpiece models, which makes your army look a lot more individual and keeps you creative, keeps you wanting to make your army look even better. And at the end of the day, it's whatever drives you to build, paint, and get your army on the table ready for playing with. And for me, it's proxying or 3D printing models that I just want to put together and paint. I find that cool. I'm going to throw it together and I'm going to paint it. And painting this model is very simple. The One Page Rules models are quite simple. They're not over detailed. They're very good models for throwing armies together quite quickly. And this is another reason why I like to have choice. If I've got an army that's pretty simple looking but it looks nice altogether, then having a centerpiece model like this that's got some details but it's not over detailed, and I can paint it in a couple of hours. Again, I'm a gamer. I enjoy gaming and playing my favourite game systems. And if you're fixed to a company where you buy your models from and you don't proxy, you have to paint that model. Whereas with me, I'll use whatever I want. And again, one-page rules is like my favourite compromise. They're not under-detailed, but they're not over-detailed either. They're just nice, simple models that you can tell what they are from the gaming table, and they look good just base coated if you want. And that's what a wargaming model is to me. Whereas if you wanted to take this to the next level and paint it to a far better quality, there's enough detail there that you could do that. But if you don't want to, it still looks pretty decent with some base coats and a wash. And obviously basing your bases with base ready from my range. Check all them out in the links below. What's your thoughts on proxying? Would you use a one-page rule model and to add it to your Warhammer army, or to add it to your Kings of War army? Would you do what I've done and 3D print an entire wargaming army for all your favourite systems? Proxying to me just makes wargaming in general just far more accessible. It doesn't matter what models you've got, it doesn't matter what game system you play. Most models are transferable, most game systems are transferable. Some things might not fit in with the lore, but who cares? It's about wargaming and it's about having fun. If you want to purchase any of these models that are below, check all the links to One Page Rules. And thank you to One Page Rules for sponsoring this video. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I absolutely love One Page Rules. Proxying for me, it just gets me going, because I get that used to seeing army systems or game systems where people use the same armies and it's just a bit boring. The fact that I can find a model that I want, print it off, paint it and add it to my army. I absolutely love proxying with 3D printing. It's amazing. And if you're on the fence about 3D printing, now's the time to do it. 3D printers, 2K mono screen, you can pick them up for what, 150, 200 pounds. And with companies like One Page Rules offering armies every month, rule systems for like, what, less than £10 a month, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever you want, it's just absolutely amazing. Now, it's a great time to be in the hobby, and if you're into proxying, it's even better. All the links are below. Thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. I've really enjoyed this because I can see again, and just painting this model that I actually need for my army has been an absolute pleasure. So thank you for One Page Rules for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you for the next one. Love, love, love.